How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll?
The world may never know.
Sorry. 3, 2, 1. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Heavily Contested Podcast, the podcast where
It's almost time. It's almost that time, man. We're in the AFC and NFC Championship. 1 week away from the Super Bowl, and someone's going to do
2 weekends of football away. We don't count the Pro Bowl because it really doesn't count.
No.
But wow. And the reason why we're filming this episode so late is because we needed time to just calm down after what is, I would say, the greatest weekend of football ever.
Definitely.
Ever. Playoff football, every game came down to a game winner. 3 of them game-winning field goals, 1 of them a game-winning touchdown in overtime. In the greatest QB duel of all time, and we'll get to that game last because it was the best one. It was the best one. But let's start with the first one that kicked off this amazing weekend. The Cincinnati Bengals went into Tennessee and took them out.
This is supposed to be Derrick Henry's homecoming game.
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to take over.
Yeah.
Tell them I'm the king.
Yeah.
I've always been the king, and I always will be the king.
Would have been a great part to his legacy right there coming back.
But Derrick Henry was shut down. Not completely, but
He was rusty.
he was supposed to have at least 100 yards in this game, and it didn't look like
He had a couple breaks, but yeah, he's just rusty.
Nah, it just wasn't there, man.
I mean, when you come back after missing 10 weeks, we like to believe that a guy like Derrick Henry, even because we see him as kind of like a superhuman type guy in the NFL, we would like to think that he could come right back and just
It's not
like didn't miss the beat, but it's not realistic, He did miss 10 weeks. So I do believe had the Titans won this game,
it would have been really bad for this next one.
I think it would have Henry would have gotten in rhythm, and especially going against the team that they would have been going against. And the Titans did have chances to win this game, plenty. The Tennessee Titans had 9 sacks in this game.
Yeah.
The
Bengals couldn't do anything, and I think it shows a lot
Travis,
that their O-line actually is a problem.
Travis, if I told you that Joe Burrow didn't throw for a single touchdown, was sacked 9 times, and the Bengals wouldn't score over 20 points, would you have expected the Bengals to have won this game?
No, the Titans won, right?
No. The Bengals won 19-16 against the Tennessee Titans.
You know why I think the Titans lost? Because their quarterback is now what I consider trash. First play of the game.
Oh, man.
First play of the game.
That definitely, that just told me, I was like, right off the bat, I was like, oh, shoot, this is going to be...
Yeah, it's over. This is going to be a rough game. Because you can't give a team like the Bengals, who have an amazing offense,
despite the O-line.
let's just give them the ball right off of it. Let's just give them an extra possession. Let's not get the defense tired. Let's not get our offense tired.
Nope.
Let's just give them an extra possession.
And it was a big one because you were the first one to start off the game, and then the Bengals still got the ball at halftime as well and scored on that drive.
Yeah.
So, Ryan Tannehill, in short, had 3 interceptions that game. 2 were definitely for him to blame. One of them, and that was the second one, with Milton, I believe. When that was just a great defensive play. I know some people want to say like that's on Tannehill, but that was Tannehill quite literally just caught the ball and threw it because that's what you're supposed to do on a screen pass. It was just a good play call where the DB was just blitzing at the right time, and it was great awareness to be able to tip the ball and then catch it himself as well. But the other 2, the first one, of course, that we just went over, and then this is the big one. You have 30 seconds left in the game. There was also, I want to know, if you go over the play again, there's a guy in the flats or kind of crossing over the middle who's wide open, and Tannehill decides to throw a curl route, not to A.J. Brown. I think it was Julio. Was it even Julio? It wasn't even Julio.
I don't think it was Julio.
It wasn't. It was neither of his 2 stars. He's going against Eli Apple, who's notorious for being burnt most of the time, but he's actually played good this season. And he throws a contested pass that gets tipped up in the air and it's intercepted with 30 seconds left, giving the Bengals the ball in Titans territory with 30 seconds left. And all it took was one play to Jamar Chase to put him in field goal range.
Oh yeah. So pretty much, in summary, thought that Marcus Mariota, when he left the Titans, it's like, oh, okay, so Ryan Tannehill is really that talented, right? Because when Marcus Mariota came in the league, everybody was thinking that he was going to be great.
Yeah, and I thought Tannehill fit well with Henry a little better because Henry's more of a power back, not the way they would have ran with Mariota, which is a lot of read option and a whole bunch of that. So Tannehill worked better as a pocket passer, and he showed glimpses, especially in that run that they had and the following season last year, where he had a good stat line at the end of the year, and it looked solid. This year, though, remember there was a point where Tannehill had 15 interceptions, or no, I believe it was 14 interceptions to 15 passing touchdowns.
Oh!
Now, he ended the season with no interceptions in the last final games, which was impressive, but then it caught up to him. Poor decision-making is to blame for that. He had one good throw to A.J. Brown for a touchdown, but now I got to ask you, what does this mean for the Titans?
I think it says a lot. Julio Jones went to this team expecting them to make a title run. And everybody at the beginning of the season, as soon as Julio got there, it was like, oh, yeah, it's wraps. Let's wrap it up, guys. This is the best offense that we're going to see.
I mean, great defense, too, actually, when you get 9 sacks like that.
Yeah, the D-line has a lot of guys that are no-names. Jeffrey Simmons is not really a big name. The other guys in there as well, they're not really big names.
Derek Long, I mean, they made some names for themselves. Harold Landry, even Kevin Byard got a sack as well. I mean, everyone was just getting.
Yeah,
everyone was just getting their way with
everybody
Joe
was getting a sack. But pretty much, I thought that the Titans were going to be really deep Super Bowl runners. But if they didn't have this good regular season, this game showed alone to me, they wouldn't have made it out the first round.
No.
They would have lost.
No, and remember, the Titans kind of backed their way into that 1 seed. Remember, they got lucky. They lost a lot of games that they shouldn't have. They lost to the Jets. They lost to the Texans. They got really lucky with getting this 1 seed because the Bengals ended up beating the Chiefs. And they're lucky that every team in the AFC was pretty much so good that it brought the competition all down to like a level.
Yeah.
Dude, they had 5 losses and they were a 1 seed. You don't see that. You don't usually see that.
3.
You don't see that. Yeah, it's usually a 3-loss team, maybe a 4-loss team. You had 5 losses and you still with the 1 seed. You know, it was a little iffy. One thing though, obviously, I think this shows Tannehill is not the guy. He's not the guy. That's the first thing they need to address is quarterback. Fortunately, this isn't a draft where quarterbacks are too much of a big option.
No,
They need to look into free agency.
But there's not that many options there as well.
They need to maybe look for a trade, Deshaun Watson, but would they want to trade Deshaun to a division rival? That's the only problem with that one.
Yeah, I think the Titans are in a bit of a pickle here.
They're in a tough situation right now, that's to say the least. For the Bengals, though, I mean, what more can you say? First of all, the defense deserves credit, too. I know Tannehill threw 3 interceptions, but a lot of those have
Some
to
of
be
them were good plays, too.
They have to be credited to Jesse Bates.
Yeah.
Remember, we talked about Jesse Bates. Troy Hendrickson got in the backfield, helped a lot with stopping Derrick Henry. Eli Apple made a big play. And credit to Eli Apple, he stepped up in Cincinnati. This Bengals team is just, what I love about it, they're young and they're cocky. They're confident. You know what I mean? Like, before the game-winning kick, Evan McPherson just walked over to Joe Burrow and
He's like,
said,
yeah, I got this.
Don't
even worry.
Looks like we're going to the AFC Championship. All right, boys. Looks like we're going.
And the thing is that they're so young. This entire team is young.
They're ahead of their time right now, too.
So they're only going to get better.
Once they figure out the O-line, I think this offense will be unstoppable.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. And I think it's very easy to get an O-line when you know you have Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. Who cares about everybody else?
And you still have T. Higgins under contract.
You still have Joe Mixon.
I do believe Tyler Boyd's still under contract as well. That's your 3 core receivers right there.
You don't need anything else. They don't even need Joe.
Video cut off there. Sorry. But what we're saying really is this team is it's only going to get better, and it's scary how good they're doing right now in this current point in their career.
Yeah. I'm really scared for the Bengals' future. Yeah, they have a chance to even go to the Super Bowl this year, and that's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about that they're going to be a better dynasty than what we expected the Chiefs to be. That's what I'm even scared about, man.
Well, yes, actually. I mean, you do have a point that they have a potential dynasty on their hands where they can become a team that's annoying.
Because,
like, it's like, oh,
yeah.
here come the Bengals again. Here come, like how the Chiefs are right now. And we'll talk about
Yes.
why they are like that. But really, just credit to the Bengals. And this is a team right now that's feeling themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, I said a lot of it. It's all about rhythm. Joe Burrow went into these playoffs after passing for 500 yards and then 400 yards. He was playing his best football going into these playoffs, and it's showing. Because even taking 9 sacks, he had a great performance.
Yeah. He didn't even have time. It was there's literally plays where as soon as the ball was hiked, he got sacked.
Yeah. No, but he was doing a great job staying poised. You know, for being such a young team, they don't get too ahead of themselves.
They don't care, man. Bring all the pressure you want.
Yep.
We're going to take this dub.
Speaking of another upset, this is my favorite of the week.
Oh, man.
Called it.
Of course. I called it.
The 49ers went into Green Bay in a dogfight snowstorm game and won 13-10. Now, this is what I love about this weekend. You had everything. You had a shootout. You had a big upset. You had another big upset, actually, too. And you had a dogfight matchup like this one was.
Yeah, this one was a low-scoring game.
Yeah.
Nobody could really score. The defenses are both amazing. Both are very amazing.
The Packers came out on that first drive, looked great, and quite literally were shut down after that.
And the Niners literally only scored once on offense.
Twice, 2 field goals.
2 field goals.
Two
But
field goals.
in the last one,
Well,
obviously,
no offensive touchdowns, though. No defensive touchdowns. The touchdown came on a special teams block punt. And this is what they talked about all season. The Niners, first of all, I've said so many times that we have one of the worst special teams units in the league. The reason why I didn't say we had the worst straight out is because the Packers were quite literally ahead.
Yeah.
If I were to rank these special teams unit, it's quite literally 49ers 31, Packers 32.
But the difference between 31 and 32
was a big difference this game.
And pretty much, the Packers special teams coordinator, you're fired.
Yeah, he's got
You're fired. You just lost your team a chance to go to the NFC Championship because you allowed your field goal to get blocked, which would tie the game.
Yep.
It would have had the game tied right now.
Yep.
And on top of that, you're in the back of your end zone. You're in your side of the field.
Yeah.
No chance that you can let a block happen. Be in punt safe. We don't need to get dudes down there. Just make sure it doesn't get blocked.
And it was more of a mismatch. I don't know how you have a D lineman going against. I think it was even just like a fullback. It wasn't an O lineman or anything, and that's why he was just so easily able to push. He quite literally just pushed through him on the line to get to blocking that punt.
And your punter is not in a hurry either. Nope. He doesn't care. Oh, there's a 300-pound dude running at me. He's probably gonna block this.
If I was the Packers, it was just you had to get it off because at that point you were thinking we can stop this offense another time. We can stop this offense one more time. It just switched the momentum. Everything just went downhill for the Packers.
And it was in the fourth quarter. You can't have stuff like that happen in the fourth quarter.
No. And here's the one thing I've got to say for the Niners part. First of all, defense. I've said it. This is the best defense in the playoffs. I don't care about the Rams, their pass rush. I know. But the Niners now have had 5 sacks in the previous 3 games. That is crazy. That is a crazy amount. Doing it against Prescott and the Cowboys, which is a good O-line.
Great O-line.
Rodgers, who hasn't been sacked much, even without Bakhtiari.
He has a solid O-line.
And he still has a solid O-line around him. Now, we did it against the Rams and Matthew Stafford. I wouldn't say their O-line is great. And we could talk about why that could be an interesting matchup now on Sunday. But this Niners defense is playing great football. And it starts with the D-line. Bosa and Armstead are playing their best football right now. And then we have the supporting cast, Simpson, Ebukam, Hyder. All these guys are just stepping up in the
Chris Guitar, Jimmy Ward.
Quick little story time. Me and Travis were bowling for our friend's birthday. And we ran into the entire Niners defensive back crew pretty much.
Yeah, and Dro was having a heart attack the whole time.
Oh my God. Okay, it's crazy when it's like you just saw them play. Like even you have to be like, come on.
No, I was standing there. I was like, oh wow.
It's just tripping, like because you just saw them play on Saturday, and now it's like a day later they're just bowling.
Yeah,
it's great. But no, they're playing great football right now. They're playing the best defensive football. Offensively, we had a good offensive game against the Cowboys. This one, I can't get on this team too much because first of all, we aren't used to the cold. It's a much different environment. And
that's what I'm mad at the Packers for. This is their home
this
state.
is their home.
This is what you want. It's snowing. You guys are the only ones used to this.
Yep.
Almost the only ones in the entire league, besides maybe New England.
Yep.
And guess what? You guys don't know how to run the ball and just beat the Niners, man.
Yep. And here's the thing about the Niners. They made plays when they needed to offensively. And again, I've said this about Jimmy Garoppolo. If Jimmy Garoppolo played like how he always plays on clutch game necessary drives,
he would be a top quarterback.
We wouldn't have drafted Trey Lance.
No.
Because Jimmy Garoppolo, his mindset changes when it's kind of like clutch time. You know what I mean? He sees the field more. He's going through his reads. His feet are moving. He's going through his progressions. He's not just going to dead center in the middle of the field. He's spreading the ball out. That's where Jimmy Garoppolo is playing his best football. And he did it again this Saturday when they had the game-winning key drive. And another player to talk about, Deebo Samuel.
Oh, man.
Big catch on that drive, big run, kick return that took it 50 yards.
All seriousness, I hate the Niners with a passion, but I do have to give a lot of credit to Deebo Samuel. He is, I'm not afraid to say this, because I'm not a Niner fan, I don't care. If Deebo Samuel wasn't on this team, Niners would not be good.
No, he's our team MVP. He's the most versatile player in the NFL.
He literally, if Deebo is not on the Niners, I have no fear that a lot of teams could beat them. I don't even think you guys would be in the playoffs.
No, we wouldn't be. That's obvious.
I don't even know.
It's big on our playmakers' hands. It's big on our playmakers' hands. But either way, I just have to say, I said it though. When a team comes in these playoffs hot, it's all about rhythm. And now these Cinderella Niners are making a story right now.
The Cinderella Niners.
Well, what you always call a 6 seed who makes a run is they always call the Cinderella team. Like in 2010, the Cinderella Packers. I believe it was in 2004 when the Steelers won as the 6 seed. They're the Cinderella Steelers. I hope I'm correct on that one. By now they're making another Cinderella story right now at this current moment. The 6 seed rolling through. So far they've been the 3 seed, the 1 seed, and now let's transition to who they'll be playing in the NFC Championship game. This game,
the Rams versus the Buccaneers.
This game was on crack. The script writers for the NFL, all this scripted stuff, they were all over the place.
They like to make it really enticing to watch, you know. But I don't understand why they made us not want to watch after the first half. Why did they do that? Like, that didn't make sense.
Dude.
But I think because they knew what the Rams did against the Niners, that we would want to tune in. Because we know that the Rams just like to choke games. They like to lose games.
Well,
but they just have the talent to win, though.
So, me and my dad were riding a high after watching this 49ers game. And then we were like seeing, okay, let's see who we play. You know, we were kind of hoping for the Bucs, to be honest. Because the Bucs aren't 100%. And I do still think that the Bucs are not a super great team without Godwin or Antonio Brown offensively. And it showed. It actually really did show. And the Rams showed that they showed who they were early in the first half. Like, that was the team that they should have been, at least.
That's the team that they should be.
With all the weapons that they have, it was just a straight lockdown defense. Brady had no time to throw. Stafford and Kupp and OBJ and Tyler Higbee, Cam Akers was doing his thing. They were just in rhythm. They couldn't be stopped. And I remember watching that at first. I was like, oh, if this is like the Rams team. I was like, I'd be like a little scared. I'd be like, because this is like twice now.
Yeah.
They just wiped the Cardinals, and now they would have wiped the Bucs. But in the second half, I was reminded of why the Rams are not the 1 seed. Yeah. And why the Rams are the Rams that we know right now.
Because they like to choke.
Because they
I think the Falcons.
But they're just so inconsistent.
Yeah, I don't understand. They literally wanted to lose. Cam Akers has the ball on like the 5-yard line at the end of the first half.
Fumbled.
Easily, if he scores, even if they kick a field goal right there, game is over.
Fumble.
You might as well just wrap it up.
Let's just go over the turnovers that happened for the Rams. So there's the Cam Akers fumble at the end of the half. That was big because that took off 7 points off the board.
Yeah.
Then there was the Cooper Kupp fumble. Cooper Kupp fumble. That's like
Cooper Kupp?
The best receiver in the league, arguably, and he fumbles.
Yeah.
I think after this game, actually, Cooper Kupp could probably. I think he's the best receiver in the league, especially with the way he finished this game. Either way, Cooper Kupp fumbles, and then it's like, what is going on? And then
Matthew Stafford is looking in the other direction. He didn't say anything.
they just stripped Zach Brady. That would have put the game away. Von Miller made a great play, and then that's how I knew this game was just off. The Rams lack discipline.
They lack discipline.
They lack discipline because they make a lot of mistakes where they shoot themselves in the foot.
What do you like? How he didn't say anything? He's not yelling hike, hike. He's looking in the other direction, probably giving an audible or changing a route. And he hikes the ball, and of course, he gets in panic mode, can't even grab the ball. Buccaneers get the ball, and now we got a game.
Jalen Ramsey gets burned for a touchdown by Mike Evans.
Oh, yeah, also I got to mention this. I don't know what happened to Jalen Ramsey, because in this game,
this is one of his worst games.
I have never seen Jalen Ramsey like this since he moved to the Rams, ever.
No, this is one of his worst games.
Yeah, I don't know if he's intimidated by Mike Evans.
Well, here's the thing. Ramsey's a physical cornerback. But when you have to go against a receiver who's
6'5",
physical, like Mike Evans, it could be hard to play that physical game that Ramsey always plays. Because Jalen Ramsey likes to press, he likes to push, but so does Mike Evans. And I think Mike Evans is definitely much bigger in stride.
Mike Evans told Jalen Ramsey to get on the ground.
Yeah.
He threw him off of him and said, okay, I'm big body. Then keeps running. Then the next play, Jalen Ramsey has a chance to lay him out.
Mm-hmm.
He's scared.
So, now we look at this game. Obviously, I think it shows that Godwin's injury hurt the Bucs a lot more than people would have thought. The defense finally came. This is like the first game I think the whole starting defense was healthy. But miscommunications on that defensive side, they look like a team that hasn't played together.
Yeah.
You could tell because their chemistry, their communication was off from the start of this game. So there's two things I can pull away from this. First of all, the Bucs need a second receiver. And now there's also a question if Tom Brady's even going to come back.
It's talking about him retiring.
I don't think he will. I don't think he will. Because here's the thing. I don't see Tom Brady retiring after going for, 40 touchdowns?
Yeah, he was leading the league.
5,000 passing yards?
I also feel like, I didn't talk about this, but I'm more leaning towards Aaron Rodgers is retiring as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe Tom Brady's going to retire because he just needs to get a receiver.
Yeah.
And it's all right.
The only reason Tom Brady would retire is if he feels like he needs to be obligated to his family. And that's like kind of personal, we don't know too much about that. Like if he wants to feel like he wants to be with his son a little more, because it is time consuming, the game of football, especially how much time he puts into it.
Not around your kids.
Because I remember reading the Instagram post, I was like, he's mentioning a lot about his family. I was like, I'm wondering if that's like playing a big part into his possible retirement. Either way, there's one thing I gotta say. Bruce Arians is a fraud. And when Tom Brady does leave, Bruce Arians will be fired quickly after. Because he's not a good coach. He's a system of Brady. That showed today. And it also showed that what we've been talking about all season long, all these games, there is no alpha. Remember we were saying that all season? It didn't feel like there was
There's no team that's dominant.
That stood out. And that's why the Niners were capable of making a run. Because there isn't a team that is.
Everyone's pretty even.
Levels ahead. No, there isn't. And you know what? I think it shows that even if the Niners, if we had a full, healthy roster, I think we would have been close to being a 1 seed this year.
Anyways, guys.
Yeah. Sorry, I digress. I talked about my Niners there, but I'm just saying that 2019 Niners team was something else. Just got to mention. And if we were healthy, we pretty much would have been the same team. Either way. It showed, though, that, there's these teams all have weaknesses.
Yeah.
And I think it made me feel good as a Niners fan knowing that the Rams were just going to wipe the Bucs.
Yeah.
And it showed, but in the end, Stafford came in the clutch. Matthew Stafford deserves credit. I said it from the season. I said it from the start. Remember, I did predict the Rams to win the Super Bowl. Now they're one win away from
predicted Matthew Stafford as MVP, which is not a bad take.
It's not a bad take at this point now, right?
Yeah,
He's throw for 40 touchdowns.
He's shown that he is what the Rams needed. He's not Jared Goff. And Odell coming over
helped out.
And we also have to remember this. After this season, Robert Woods comes back as well. Now, I don't think that they have Odell. They have to re-sign him.
Yeah, I don't know if Odell will.
But we'll have to see what happens with that.
Yeah, but either way, it shows that how good the Rams are when Matthew Stafford plays mistake-free football. I think they're undefeated when he doesn't have a turnover.
Yep.
You know? Or an interception, I should say more specifically. But either way, Stafford, when he plays smart football, is extremely dangerous. But he also doesn't handle pressure well. Now, this Bucs team wasn't getting as much pressure on that Rams O-line.
Mm-mm.
But we will see this upcoming week, and we'll talk about that a little more. But let's transition to
the best game of all time, Joe. I'm ready to say.
I was about to say.
This is better than the Rams versus the Chiefs. This is better.
Okay, let's say it. It's not just the game of the week. It's not just the game of the season. It's not just the game of the past 10 seasons. It's not just the game of the 20th century. I'm willing to say this is the greatest playoff game of all time.
I've said this is the best game.
I'm not going to say it's better than
because it's a playoff game.
Yes, I get that.
The reason why I believe that is, Rams, Chiefs, it was cute, right?
Both teams had 50 points in that game, though.
Yeah,
and defenses were scoring touchdowns. It wasn't just offense.
I understand that. But the biggest thing that I've never seen in my life, I don't even know, is this a record? 1-3. 1-3. No, there's no, not 1-3-0-0-0. 0-1-3. And they scored a touchdown. Not a touchdown. They scored a field goal.
Well, okay, let's go over the point. In the final, what was it, 140? 25 points were scored in the final minute and 40 seconds of this game. First of all, Gabriel Davis.
Who?
Oh my God.
Who?
Well, hey, we can't be saying that anymore because he made a name for himself.
4 touchdowns?
4 touchdowns, 200 receiving yards. The greatest receiving performance in a playoff game of all time. There's not even a question about that.
I think he's a wide receiver 3 or 4.
Wide receiver 3, because Emmanuel Sanders was considered ahead of him.
Cole Beasley as well, too. So I think he's wide receiver 4.
I actually wonder if you look at the statistics, he probably is 3rd or 4th. Yeah, you're probably right. Because Cole Beasley actually gets a lot of attention. He gets a lot of receptions. He works good out of the sun, actually. I was impressed with how he played.
Yeah.
First of all, this is a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. We saw, remember the iconic photo of Stephon Diggs?
I don't want to hear anything about Stephon Diggs.
But Diggs did not.
He had 7 yards in this game.
And he had a 1-2-point conversion.
7 yards.
But I also do think, and to Diggs' defense, I think it's also just because
Gabriel Davis.
My God, Gabriel Davis and Josh Allen were unstoppable.
Gabriel Davis literally broke somebody's ankles. Dude, literally.
I ain't never seen somebody get beat like that.
I ain't never seen 2 pretty best friends or somebody get their ankles broken in the last play of the game.
That was...
If they would have stopped them right there.
It was 4th and 13. 4th and actually it was even more than that. It was like 4th and 16.
The game is over.
The game is over at that point.
All you have to do, they're in a cover 3. All you have to do is stay deep. Defend the end zone. Mm-hmm. How do you manage to get your ankles broken and he's wide open?
Unreal. It was just unbelievable. It was just unbelievable, this game. Because then, following that, then it's like a minute left and you're like, okay, maybe the Bills defense can step up. Tyreek Hill catches a simple dig route, probably about 15 yards, takes it the rest of the 40 yards down the way, throws up the P...
Throw up the peace sign.
This is psychotic, bro. This is psychotic. He throws up the peace sign in front, with the dudes in front of him.
Man, I already knew this. Tyreek Hill, for some reason, against the Bills. I predicted this last week.
You did, huh? You did.
Yeah.
You did say it. You did say it.
Every time we played the Bills.
How many yards did you say? Did you say that?
I said it over 100 yards, and he had 140.
It was good for you, man. You were call that one.
So, Tyreek Hill, I already knew he was going to do it, but in the time that he did it.
Dude, it's just, this whole game was psychotic because Mahomes was doing great running the football, and this is where Mahomes is dangerous. The Bills didn't get a sack on him, and I also don't want to say that's just because the Bills' D-line played bad, but it's just Mahomes was just, he was in a zone.
Yeah.
He was moving around. They couldn't touch him in that pocket.
And Josh Allen, you can't forget about Josh Allen. He was running the ball. If there was literally, on that last drive, I think that Gabriel Davis broke his ankles. Josh Allen literally ran for like 4 first downs.
No, he played a gritty game, man, because there was a lot of times where he was covered or the pressure was on him, and Josh Allen just would persevere. He would not give up.
He doesn't care. I don't care. Yeah. You have 6 dudes at me. He's kind of like Ben Roethlisberger, but he's faster.
I think he reminds me more of a Cam Newton a little bit.
Cam
a better arm.
Yeah.
with a more talented arm. First of all, people are saying, I want to address this. People are saying this is like the next Brady and Manning. No, this is going to be better than Brady and Manning
because Manning could never beat Brady.
Well, actually, Manning beat Brady a lot in the playoffs. He beat him 3-1 in the playoffs. Here's what I gotta say though. My point. Have you ever seen Brady and Manning have a game like this, where they both went at it on the QB duel, and it was perfect on both ends?
No, I've never seen anything like that.
No, it was the greatest quarterback duel of all time.
And on top of that, Brady and Peyton Manning both had amazing, Hall of Fame people around them. These players, the Bills, who does he really have that's that amazing?
Well, it would have been Diggs. But Diggs
Diggs
didn't show up this game.
Tre'Davious White is not playing. He has two great safeties. Yeah. But who is he throwing to? Gabriel Davis?
Well, here's the thing, man. Oh, my God. This Bills secondary pissed me off. The best defense.
Also, Dro.
Poyer and Hyde, man, they were...
Dro, I'm going to say this. First play, right? So they have 13 seconds. They had 3 total plays in 13 seconds. Mm-hmm. First play is Tyreek Hill. That one is just Tyreek Hill. I understand. Mm-hmm. This last play right here.
You can't let him get that much.
This yards. Is what are you guys doing? That's not the Chiefs being great.
No.
That is not the Chiefs being great.
That was poor play calling.
Defensive coordinator, or it's that one nickel player right there.
It's a bit of both.
You're guarding 15 yards away, protecting the outside with 2 timeouts left. Why?
Okay.
They only have, what did they have, 7 seconds?
Yeah. So, I think you could agree to my point that I'm about to make here. It goes to the point that I think prevent defense is got to be the stupidest defense. Because it's so conservative. I know you don't want to let a deep ball slip by you. But why don't you do it where you press the receivers? All you really need, if you think about it, is you need 3 guys deep.
That's about it.
You don't need 4 or 5 guys deep back there. And especially in a moment like that, you know they're not going for a Hail Mary. They're going for the field goal.
Yeah.
They already gained so many yards with Tyreek. And the reason why that Tyreek Hill play worked is because they were backed off anyways. So they basically just threw a wide receiver screen to Tyreek Hill, gave us some blockers, let him get some yards real quick.
And you know what's even worse? Why did they send 4 people on the defensive line? They have 7 seconds. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get there. He was going to throw it quick. The D-line is not going to do anything. Okay. So I would put 2 defensive linemen, mm-hmm. put the rest in coverage, not all the way back. Put the rest in coverage and see what happens. Yep. And probably that doesn't happen. Travis Kelce gets, 25 yards?
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
And you lose the game.
So there's one thing I guess we got. So that's, first of all, I think that's the main reason the Bills lost. There's another reason though, and this goes on the NFL rule book.
This is the overtime rules.
I said from the beginning I hated the overtime rules. And here's people's arguments for it. Well, there's a full team. Defense has to play football too, so your defense has to step up. But why are we only making one defense have to step up? Because truthfully, I think everyone who was watching that game knew whoever got that coin toss was going to win the game.
Yep.
So the Chiefs defense catches a break, basically.
Yep.
They catch a break because they didn't have a chance to. And this happened way back in 2018 when it was Patriots-Chiefs. And the Chiefs' offense couldn't be stopped, but neither could the Patriots. And we knew whoever wins that coin toss wins that game. The Patriots won that coin toss. Brady drives down the field and wins that game.
Yeah.
Right? At least give them each a possession. From there, however you want to do it, if you could give them both possessions. Or how about this?
I say keep it the same. Just give both teams a possession, and then you could do it.
I heard one that I kind of like too. They reduced the time from 15 to 10 minutes in overtime.
And just play it out.
Just play it out. Play out the 10 minutes. If you even want to decrease it a little bit. Or no, I say 10 minutes is actually good. 10 minutes is good because
that's
most
two
teams,
possessions.
That's pretty much 2 possessions right there.
Yeah.
And then you just keep going because a lot of teams can play out the full set of overtime most of the majority of the time.
Yeah.
It's just for this one situation, quite literally both defenses were exhausted, tired, and just couldn't keep going.
Yeah, honestly, for me, obviously, you can't just say it overtime because the Bills, there's no reason that they should have made it to overtime.
Of course.
So, I don't like when people say that, oh, that's why the Bills lost.
They lost to a coin. They didn't lose to a coin.
No, they lost. They didn't deserve to win that game.
Their defense, yeah.
But for the entertainment side of it, now at the same time, I believe that the football overtime rules used to be you kick a field goal and the game is over. So I like that they at least made it so you have to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
But when you have two offenses like this, and we've already seen this happen before, and the NFL obviously doesn't care about changing rules, give some things a shot. Let's see some different things that could happen. Yeah. Now, obviously, I'm not really that mad because when you go into overtime, you know, okay, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
But let's just give new things a shot, man, and see how
if I were to implement the rule, I'd be, if you want to keep it the same during the regular season, that's fine. It's the regular season.
Yeah, regular season doesn't matter, but playoffs, let's change it up.
Let's change it up, especially because most of the time in these playoffs, you're going to have these great offenses or great just teams overall go head to head in a gladiator match, basically. And you know, it sucks when, in a sense, if the Bills didn't choke, I would agree with the point that the coin lost in the game.
Yeah.
Because the coin basically decides the game.
Yeah.
And that shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
That shouldn't happen. Josh Allen, the way he played, deserved another shot, just like Mahomes did back in 2018.
I'm not afraid to say this. I think those are the two best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yes.
And
Rodgers is third.
I'm pretty close to saying that I think that Josh Allen might be more consistent.
No, don't go there.
I'm going to say this.
Don't say it.
I think that Josh Allen might be more consistent in the future in the playoffs.
No,
I think I will see Josh Allen more than I see.
I'm going to have to disagree with you because in the end, who drove down the field with 13 seconds left?
I don't. Who?
Stop! Josh Allen played an amazing game, but stop it. Mahomes has a Super Bowl. What is this, only his fourth season?
Yeah. Josh Allen's a year younger, I think.
He has a Super Bowl already. He's gone through 4 AFC championships.
Went to 2 Super Bowls.
So this is his 5th season, my bad. This is Mahomes' 5th season. Either way, since he's been starting, 4 AFC championships, 1 Super Bowl. Who knows if he finishes out this season and ends with 2 Super Bowls. He's been to 2 Super Bowls already in his career. Mahomes still, despite the game Josh Allen played, matched him blow for blow. He didn't get sacked, and that was because of Mahomes. He was elusive. He was poised. He was calm. He was making the throws he needed to make. Don't do that. Don't do that. Respect to Josh Allen. I want to put him number 2. And the reason why I'm so quick to put these 2 up here is because they're in their prime. In the end, we're
going to be here for a while.
We're seeing a Rodgers and Brady's who, while they are playing great football, this isn't their best football. And I know Mahomes had a slump early on in the season, but I still believed from that start that Mahomes was the best quarterback in the NFL still. Because in the end, Mahomes is playing football unlike anyone else. He's making throws that no one else can make.
I just think Josh Allen has more potential
than
Patrick Mahomes.
He doesn't have more potential.
I think Josh Allen could throw just as far as Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, he can. Yes,
he can.
Yes, he can.
He's bigger.
No, but Mahomes...
And he has less talent on his team.
No, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to respectfully disagree. But Mahomes has done way more already. We've seen it already from Mahomes. And it's only going to get better as he continues to just get used to it more. And we're already seeing that, actually. We're getting to the prime years now of Mahomes.
But either way, both of these 2 quarterbacks right here. And I hope we get to see Deshaun Watson come back. Because he would be up there 5. As well.
Top 5.
But, yeah. And Kyler Murray as well. But the NFL is in good hands.
Here's the one thing I want to mention. The AFC compared to the NFC, when you look at young quarterbacks, is leagues ahead. I would make an argument that we could possibly see a set here where the AFC starts becoming more dominant in winning Super Bowls than the NFC. Because let's just list off AFC young quarterbacks. Mahomes, Allen, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Deshaun Watson at the current moment, depending on where he gets traded. You know? Those 6 alone.
They're all top quarterbacks. All of them.
You can make an argument that when they're all playing...
3 of them are in the playoffs still.
1, 2, 3 of them.
3 of them are in the play. Oh wait, am I tripping? Oh,
Wow.
well, this.
Bye bye, Allen. You're not here.
Well, yeah,
anymore.
my bad. But
But yes,
of them were in the playoffs.
yes, Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
And then we're seeing what we're seeing for Joe Burrow in just his second year. What we saw from Justin Herbert in just his second year. I mean, we could be seeing a very
And the
great
Chargers should have
competitive.
been in the playoffs.
We're seeing a great competitive AFC just quarterback matchups. We're going to be getting that all throughout this next decade. But what I want to mention is watch out, because here's your argument. You said again, you think Josh Allen's going to be more consistent than Mahomes. I'm going to say this. I could see Mahomes being like a Michael Jordan or LeBron James. And what I mean by that is, Michael Jordan and LeBron James, you could say, have gone against so many great players throughout their career. And yet these great players have no rings. Why?
Because they had to go up against them.
Exactly.
So you think Josh Allen is going to be one of those?
No,
great
I
players?
wouldn't say Josh Allen, but Justin Herbert, maybe Joe Burrow. You know, the Chiefs are going to start becoming that team that it's like, you see these great teams and this is like the chance for this quarterback to finally get one, and it's just going to be Mahomes just kind of being in the way, as always. But we'll see how that all plays out in the future. We're looking way into the future now at this point. But that was a great, but just perfect play from both quarterbacks. Playmakers stepping up in the big game. It can't get any better than that. And it sucks that a team actually had to lose, because I truly believe that's the AFC Championship right there. And I'm going to say that because we are going to transition to who we have our AFC Championship and NFC Championship matchups now.